Even light can fracture, but from the shards we rise again. Stars where silence lies. Ghosts remember but never rest. Light and shadow in my chest. The traveler weeps, the cities fall. Still we stand, still we call. Guardians bound by endless fight, chasing dawn through endless night. Darkness calls, but I don't kneel. I bleed in silver, I break in steel. We are the echoes of the light, falling stars that still ignite. Through the void, through pain and flame, we fight for hope that has no name. We're the fire when the suns all fade. The scars that time could never shade. From dusk to dawn, through endless fight, we rise again. The echoes of the light. See the moon's pale heart undone by the hands of what we've become. I've lost my friends, my soul, my grace. Still I wear this broken face. Neon ashes fill the sky. Another ghost, another goodbye. But through the fear, the dark, the pain, we burn to live again. The dark will speak, but I'll defy it. No God, no ghost, just I. We are the echoes of the light, falling stars that still ignite. Through the void, through pain and flame, we fight for hope that has no name. We're the fire when the suns all fade. The scars that time could never shade. From dusk to dawn, through endless fight, we rise again. The echoes of the light. You call it death, I call it the next mission. I won't fade. I listen through pain. One more fight, one more flame. We're not gods, we're what remains. One more fight. For the light. We are the echoes of the light, falling stars that still ignite. Through the void, through pain and flame, we fight for hope that has no name. We're the fire when the suns all fade. The scars that time could never shade. From dusk to dawn, we stand and fight. Immortal hearts
Either one, Madam Clumsy Boots. Oh shit. Oh shit. How do we gonna flag it? Shit. Shit. Guys, even I mean, from spectator, ain't really a whole lot you can kind of hold their attention. Good try. On a try. Guys, pay attention. That's your tired. Come on, guys. Come on. This could. Hang on, I'll be right back. Hey, funny, Loki, retire. Red flag, retire. Yeah, SJ retired. We're trying to get all you guys to retire. That's why this could just retire. Trying to get everybody on the grid to retire so the lobby doesn't go anywhere. Because nobody gave anybody time to put their proper setup on to deal with conditions. Just like this. Yeah. trying to get drunk off the Nuggets. Come on. Somebody stop. Guys, come on. This is why y'all need to use the team chat so that way if people talk to me, man. Oh, I do. like, team chats are there for that explicit purpose. So if because all the admins can also see every team's voice comms. So if I just jumped in and told Bookie to jump out because Scally's engineering for him, and Bookie instantly retired. These guys need to, even if you're not talking to your teammate, jump in there so you have a way, even while driving, if the session has to be red flagged for whatever reason, you can know. Okay, Rrl sees it. Hopefully Dr. J and Nito will realize, okay, something's up and retire. Come on, guys. It ain't rocket science. Nah, he just pulled off. Dr. J's off. His AI just parked it, so now we just need Nito. Why are these guys leaving the session? Gotcha. Oh wait, no, that was... 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 No Alright, your invite's sent. What? Oh my god. Guys, stop. I don't know. I set the weather to Diana. I left it to dynamic from day one, so I was expecting this. Okay. Dr. J, honey, I'm trying, I'm not doing this. I am talking, come on. Over there. Alright, we just need Vito. More. Vito. Damn it, there's no way I can. There. I got you. I got you. Yeah. SJ, can you put up SJ, can you put up a post to let everybody know a new SJ? Can you put up a post? Guys, if you're not comms, please get out. I'm trying to get stuff done. Not being rude, but I'm trying to get this rectified quickly. SJ, can you put up a post to let everybody know a new lobby's being made? I'm gonna just send invites. I'll set the lobby up there. Shit, I just can't. Let me invite for the lobby. It should be. Send him an invite. Oh shit, I forgot the game. What did you say that was suspension was? Okay. That works. I hate that these guys come in Discord with a name that's not related to their, EA name or anything. It's like hard to ID who they are. Alright, Bobby is... Okay, gotcha. if one kind of reacted to mess with me, bad collab. So it's like gotcha. All right, let's see what the weather's gonna be like now. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, redo the intro, and then I'll read it until you're done. I'm here. I'm already working on trying to get the Dr. J back in here. quite possible, but I mean, so about an identical start. I guess they took a page out of this one's playbook, but looking here, it looks like the grid's pretty split on the tire choices. At least as we saw with everything. Most majority were soft tire starts. So it's a bit more mixed up here too. So I mean, interested to see as like I said, two-stop option, which you go medium, soft, soft, medium, medium, soft, soft. I mean, there's a lot of strategies in play. I'm interested to see who's going to pull what and come out. Almost definitely. I kind of found myself in a spot there. Change. Just kind of, I pretty much just banging in qualifying laps on hard tires. 20 slaps. Right up until about that safety car came out. That honestly kind of really helped me catch up to the back. That kind of started, me pretty much battling the rest of the run. So, I mean, I mean, you got drivers like Bookie and John DT who jumped on tires after the VSC. So I'm a little interested to see if these guys are going to hang on to that for, quite a while and maybe try to the way back into see maybe possibly be top 10 pit stops for a while. Honestly, I'm see. I mean, he had that spin unarguable. Yeah, see, Cobb Corner, it's a tricky one. I mean, as you kind of saw in Cobb, it's there we go. Cobb. Oh, now it's muted. I had a little upset. What I was saying was, Cobb Corner. It's arguably the second fastest corner on the F1 calendar, next to the final corner in Las Vegas, where you got cars barreling across the finish line at 60+ miles an hour. But Cobb Corner, you tend to come through that corner at about 180 miles an hour, and it's a lot of G-force, a lot to hang on to. So, I mean, if your setup's not completely dialed in and you don't allow the rear end to actually lean a curve up, it's gonna throw you. Oh, absolutely. I mean, these guys are honestly kind of impressed able to trail each other, given the high-speed nature of Solar Steel Circuit and the kind of dirty air that these cars produce. Yeah, and they're keeping it clean, which is another, staple that we've kind of come to understand, and two especially. And guy spins it on the final corner, but he catches it. Ishka just barely avoids that. Not sure how. That that oh I'm pretty sure Ishka in that moment probably butthole tightly clenched and almost on an out of body experience. Because I mean that's one of those things where it's like, well, that's race done for me. But no, you managed to somehow catch it. You got some lucky stars. Looks like he was having a lot of trouble out there. I mean, it remains to be seen. I mean, we know each time he's one of those drivers. When he's on, he's on. But you're still and still corner again. Still corner is another one of those tricky, fast, high speed because you're literally coming out of eighth gear, banging the gears down once or once, twice, maybe 3 times, depending on how you feel to get the rotation out of the car. Still corner, you're coming through there probably about 160 miles an hour, and it's a bit of a tricky corner because the way the corner's set is you're kind of coming downhill, but then you get to about mid corner, and then you're swinging out wide and going even more downhill on the exit. So it's a lot to try and catch and hold on to the car. while as you were speaking, Gianni seemed to have a bit of a spin there coming through the last couple of corners right there before you before you hit, go in to start the next lap. He seems to got it going. He kept everything good. Don't seem to have any issues with the car. And I'm sure he's going to be happy about that, but not about the spinning part. Like he might have suffered a little bit of contact, possibly between himself and Tyler Schiller's car was behind him at that point. Get going, so it's a good day for him, I guess. Yeah, and I mean, see, that's one of those things where it's capitalization and a driver's mistakes. And Sid had he misjudged Beckett's, and I mean that's a high speed sweep down. You're pretty much per per switch. You're coming down a gear from 8. So the first one down 7, then the 6, and then the 5th. And as soon as you drop to the 5th, expect to be right back on the power. And if you get it wrong, you're gonna either oversteer, and then you gotta catch it and go offline, losing traction coming out of Chapel Corner to be able to take the hanger straight, which we all know the hanger straight. These cars reach top speed of 215 miles an hour at any given time, especially down the hanger straight. And if you get it wrong, if you drive onto the end, and this gets a full advantage. I mean, honestly, I mean, just in my experience, some tires actually, it honestly is setup based. It's setup. It's based on how aggressive you are with your setup. Then also you as a driver being able to manage over and keep it consistent lap after lap. So sometimes you might have to, pull the ERS and just say nope, don't put ERS in these corners to kind of, so turn the ERS back on the corner exit, just kind of point the car straight to what you do. But right now, looking at, and he is absolutely has there. He's got quite the battery on his. He's looking to get to catch Tenzo and just drain that battery and ride off into the sunset of
pull your hair. Pull mommy's hair.
Most definitely. And I mean, Nishka's, and as we say that, Harold comes through with set, and set scores himself a nice 3 second time limit to the track limits. And I mean, Silverstone's one of those tracks where track limits is something that, as a driver, you want to exploit as much as possible, especially through qualifying. But even in the race, you're looking to exploit as much of the track as you possibly can to keep that lap time consistent. But it'll take, and there's corners where you take about half the car over the curb, essentially. And as you go through these cars, you have to run them quite close to downforce. So coming through some of these, sweeping sections, especially through Maggie's and Beckett's and Brooklyn's and Abbott, right across the half of the curve. But if you don't have the proper ride height and the grip and the management, you're gonna lose it. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, Harold, he's the championship leader for Division Two right now. And I mean, he's looking to try and score every last win he possibly can to seal this deal because as we saw, Harold was, pegged by his team principal to take to drive for Div One, and he's looking for some massive redemption after a not so great showing in his first Div One race. But he's looking to prove and show that hey, this is why you pushed me, pulled me in to run Div One for this race, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm made of. And Harold is not playing around. He's looking to and sizing Tenzo up to. I'm gonna get past you as Tenzo goes wide from top corner, but manages to keep it. Absolutely, and it's one thing that to take note that you have some drivers who, while they may be behind, they have to brake a little bit earlier, where they're kind of they like to brake later. And Harold, it's he's using that his late breaking, prowess to his ability to try and size up that move on Tenzo. So what we may end up seeing is Harold might fire that, Daniel Ricciardo esque Honey Badger late dive bomb move into a high speed corner to get through on Tenzo. As but at the moment, Nishka is making full use of that as he gets a time penalty of 3 seconds, which is not going to help his case. But with Harold and Tenzo fighting behind, he's already broken the DRS. So Nishka's at this point, he's pretty much got to have foot to floor and just be flat out to try and open up that gap if he wants to, cross the line first and actually maintain that. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, looking at the gaps right now, said is 19 is just under 20 seconds off the back of Harold. And we know that, it takes about 25 seconds to navigate pit lane around Silverstone. So I'm pretty sure, granted, I don't know if Nishka knows or not, but he's probably going to want to get a move on quickly, as if he stays out too much longer on those mediums, Sed's gonna have those hards fired up. It's now 3 laps that he's been cooking on those tires, and he's gonna be looking. He's probably gonna be right within Nishka's window when Nishka comes out of the pit. So we could be looking at quite the interesting battle in this round of pit stops if it comes down to it. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I'm just kind of thinking about it right now. And your top three, they've got 17 laps on those mediums. So it it is possible that they may be looking to pull a one stop here. Whereas said went and pitted early off of his soft tires onto the hards, and he's definitely got those fired up, as the gap between him and Tenzo is now down to under 16 seconds. But now that leaves, some strategy to be thought about as to, on Nishka's part, like, do I need to just absolutely just fire in the hole and full send it? Because with Harold and Tenzo not having time penalties, but lurking in that window, especially Harold, who's now closing the gap to Nishka, it's gonna get quite spicy here shortly.
You're doing right.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, it looks like we got quite the battle shaping up here toward, the back end of the top 10 right now with Dr. J and Bookie, Gianni, and the governor. They've got quite the train going on here, and none of them seem to be giving any quarter at all. But Dr. J of that bunch is, or the governor of that bunch is on the freshest tires on 3 lap old hard tires, and he is pushing absolutely like a maniac to make up, for lost time at this point. As we know, Bookie, who's on 16 lap old hard tires, has not pit yet. Um, Honestly, I feel like it will influence the two of them to, go ahead and get that pit done because as we know, the undercut is quite powerful, and especially around Silverstone, the undercut is extremely powerful. So anything longer than about an extra lap, anything over an extra lap or two, you're gonna be at a massive loss coming out of the pits. That driver that went in before you, they're gonna come out. You're gonna come out the pits, and that driver's gonna already be rounding turn 2 or turn 3 by then. So if I were Nishka and Harold, I would probably start looking to go ahead and get ready to pit because if not, I mean, Sed's not far off of either one at this point. He's in both their windows, so they may as well go ahead and get that pit stop done and dusted and get back out there and get back to the grind. Woo! It does appear that way. It's like they're dodging bullets left and right out there. It's like they're letting that bull just run absolutely rampant almost to the point. It's like you would kind of think it makes you kind of wonder: are they just being a couple of raging bulls? Coming after everybody on the grid at this point. And I mean, given what happened, last week in China, as we know, the Red Bull pair were absolutely dominant through the first 2 sessions of qualifying, and then the rain hit, and it kind of displaced them both. And as much as they tried, they weren't able to recover it through the race. So they're probably looking for a very good showing here, as now Nishka and Harold have both entered pit lane. Nishka and they both come back out on hard tires. Now I'm interested to see is as said does come on through.
Oh. Oh. Kidding me? Kidding me? We hear the
But I mean, it's gonna be quite interesting. I mean, at this point though, Nishka and Harold are in that window. to where if they possibly could tote the hard, they felt confident to carry the hard tires, they possibly could carry those hards all the way to the end from here. Whereas said, I don't think he would be able to, and if he does try, he's going to be massively struggling toward the end. Oh, it definitely is, and this I'm kind of like seeing of the variety of strategies here and how some people cover. But aside with the exception of the last two, everybody's on hard tires, so it kind of makes you wonder how long are these guys gonna take them? But you've got Bookie who's on 20 lap old cards, and this is on 15 lap old cards, so they're definitely guaranteed to have to probably pit again before the end. Oh, definitely, 100% racing. I think Banana in the Discord chat had said that his arms are absolutely wrecked. Well, he will be affected race at the end. It's not even for the faint-hearted. It requires a lot of endurance. It's definitely as Tenzo goes wide through Cobb's corner again, losing more time to Harold, which is campaigning trying to catch up there. As this little bit of a spat between Harold and Nish, the gap seems to be holding pretty solid as Nish is slightly starting to reel in said as well. No, absolutely. As we've seen, especially with NAEU drivers, it starts. Any driver, it seems, can have that breakout race where they just absolutely just show something magical. And more so, especially with these things, they're showing absolute magic right now with being able to tolerate staying in dirty some of these trains. But they're also managing their batteries to be able to back and while doing so. Oh, absolutely. And when you're racing, especially with a high speed track like something like Las Vegas and Jeddah, you kind of gotta be confident in your setup to just full send it and just turn the battery off. Even if it's corners under braking, turn it off, jet up a bit, and get back going. And I found, especially this, I'm turning battery off, coming through corners and not turning it on until I was rounding last time, coming back down the street, and then I turn it on again a couple of minutes later, through heavier braking zones, and then again through the start of sector two through Brooklands and Lovefield. I found myself, saving the DRS there, and it actually paid off pretty good as the pace as I felt the pace, the tire, everything just felt consistent the entire race for me. So I mean, it is an art to be able to manage. So as they manage it more and more, it'll pay off in the long run later in the race, especially if you have that, surplus of battery to use. As we know these batteries give an extra 150 horsepower to these 1,000 horsepower fighter jets on wheels. So it's gonna pay off in the long run, and I'm looking to see who's gonna be able to take full advantage of that later in the race. Oh, he definitely is, and now he's probably looking to catch up to his teammate and try to maybe pull some teammate strategy. Pull some strategy. Maybe they'll try and play a game of leapfrog and just kind of bounce around each other to kind of catch up to the guys ahead, and put a distance between the guys behind. I found myself a few seasons ago with a teammate of mine. We actually did quite that exact thing at quite a few races in that season, which kind of put us in a position where we actually won the constructors title. I mean, it's a good and a good thing, but if only if your teammate understands, hey, let's not fight each other, let's help each other. So you leapfrog me at this DRS zone, I'll leapfrog you at the next one, and just kind of go back and forth, and you'll see the gap start to open up from behind and close up ahead. stops right in the way of walking. Why would you? Don't fucking leave me like that. It's definitely good. I mean, looking at the gap for Ishka and Sid, that gap has Ishka's been clawing at that gap quite a bit. And just notice he put in the fastest lap on 8 lap overall tires. He's fast, but that just shows the consistency of how gentle he's actually being on those tires, while knowing that Harold is right there lurking behind him, pushing harder to catch up. So it's quite an interesting thing going on at the front, but I don't think said in about another 10 laps is going to be in a good position to be able to hold Ishka back. Oh, definitely. And just off the rumor mill, Bookie's uh, engineering for him, that was probably a call from the pit wall to carry those tires. It's and I mean, now he's falling back down the grid as he's coming out the pits. But with him being, and he comes out on another fresh set of tires, he's probably looking to go deeper into this race. He's late, slap on a set of softs and just absolutely fire. Absolutely. And I mean, one thing I kind of noticed is that Tenzo kind of started to drop back over the last few laps because he was within 9 seconds of Harold, and now he's almost 13 seconds away. And Barry's closing up to him, slowly, but it with you have some drivers who they might make a setup and they'll build that setup based on just one compound of tire, whether it be the soft, the medium, or the hard, and then you slap on a different compound during the race, and now the car just feels completely out of balance. It doesn't feel right, so it kind of messes with the driver's confidence to kind of turn the car in the way they would through certain corners or get on the throttle the way they were doing naturally on that compound that they started on. So it's kind of interesting, honestly, and Nishka's still closing that gap to said, as Harold has also closed the gap a little bit to Nishka as well. So they're both pushing quite hard to catch up and go for the lead. But Nishka still has that 3 second time penalty, and with Harold being as close as he is, he's gonna want to catch said and not too much fight him and not fight him too much, as Harold will be right there in his gearbox, and any kind of mistake from that, Harold's gonna take the lead and probably run away.
I'm literally putting the dog on blanket in the thing. How long are you going to I'll tell you what, you can give me a pack of cigarettes, I got you. Okay. Give me a second.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, if I was Harold in that position, I'd be feeling absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, one thing I kind of use it to my advantage in the Div 1 race, that the battle I had with, I can't remember who exactly it was at the end, that I
Come
was
on,
fighting
Lily.
virtually honestly kind of half the race
Get your
after
pants
the safety
on.
car restart, but he had a 3 second time penalty,
Come
and
on, Lily.
I tend to push track limits quite a bit in most of the track, especially at Silverstone. So I was extending track limits quite a bit, and somehow kept it in limit, didn't have a single warning, and I was kind of worried, but I was like, nope, we've got it. Just stay within his, just don't even bother getting close and fight him and trying to just take the position, because it's like, I mean, it seems kind of cheap, but it's like, why bother fighting it and risking when I could just bring the car home and gain the position due to a time penalty? I mean, it sounds kind of cheap, but it does work.
Oh, good. Come on, Lily. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Out the door. Come on. Go.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we got quite a spicy battle going on here for P7 between the governor and N guy. And N guy's staying he's staying pretty good and tucked up close to governor, putting on that pressure. But the governor is somehow he's finding his way and managing that ERS to be able to keep up the defense, especially in the straight line portions of the track, where a lot of our overtaking really does happen. But so that's kind of interesting, as now we see the lead has changed hands as Seg goes into the pit for mediums. Now Nishka and Harold have taken over. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Sed plans to try and take those mediums to the end from here, or what may happen as Tenzo now comes through as well. So Sed now finds himself probably coming out in P4 with Harold and Tenzo ahead. Harold chasing Nishka, but Harold has also backed off just a tiny bit, but he's still staying within that gap of Nishka's 3 second time penalty. Personally, I mean, it just my opinion, and I mean, from a driver perspective, I guess you could say, I would knowing what the softs, if you know what the softs are actually capable of, I would wait and say give it probably like the last like inside the last 10 laps, and if you still have that gap to set, by all means, go in the pit, slide in the pit, throw in those softs, and absolutely just come out and be an absolute rocket flat out and just bang in 10 qualifying laps to the end because they do kind of have the gap for it, with Tenzo being 18 seconds off of Harold at this point, and said is actually closing in on Tenzo as we speak. But so I mean, they've kind of got to make a decision. Are they gonna push to do that, or are they gonna stay out? And right now, with Set closing up on Tenzo as quick as he has on those fresh mediums, their better option at this point may be to just stay out and just conserve as much tire as they can. As now Harold has entered DRS of Nishka, so it looks like he's not playing the safe route. He's looking to try and not only win this thing by penalties, he's trying to win this thing outright on the board and on track. Oh, it definitely is. And one thing I've kind of noticed is Nishka's battery is recharging at quite a high rate in some of these corners. So maybe he's kind of gotten hip to, they've done they've gone over half this race now, and they've kind of gotten into their own flows, settled down, and kind of gotten in their grooves. So maybe Nishka's at the point now where he's kind of realizing, okay, I can harvest through these corners. He's not going to attack me. He's not going to be able to make a move on me here. So I can actually harvest more battery through these corners and then have a lot to defend. Whereas Harold's is pushing it flat out and fully on the attack of Nishka. So he's trying to keep the pressure up, trying to force a mistake to maybe get just that little bit closer so that he can maybe use the DRS to make the overtake. But Nishka's not having it right now. He's putting up quite the defense. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, at this point, I mean, Nishka's kind of he's playing he's pulling and making the right calls at the right time. He's managing where he needs to manage. He knows where he can push and just how much on the limit he can be. So he's not overdriving the car at all. He's keeping it relatively smooth through every corner. And I mean, a lot of, especially with the dirty air through Maggots and Beckett's, it's one of the harder corners to kind of stay tucked up and trail a car, especially on tires that are a bit more worn. So I mean, kind of comes down to the skill of the drivers at that point of being able to manage that, not just on the setup, but also just in how they're handling the car and handling staying in that position for so long, where you've got where you've got, you might see a driver, they get to the end of a long corner and they'll kind of pop out real quick and then dart back behind the car ahead. They're doing it just to kind of get that little bit of clean air across the front wing to kind of help the car, kind of help ease what the tire's job of having to brake and turn into the corner and rotate the car through. And that's kind of about what Harold's doing. He's making little micro pop outs to kind of keep a little bit of clean air over his front wing and still be behind Nishka for as long as he has. At this point, no, he said's well within he's well within their pit window at this point. So I mean, and they're both gonna know that and see it on the timing on their timings. So I mean, they're probably at this point thinking, okay, just run the long game, keep it consistent. Don't and probably they're both probably in their heads thinking, okay, let me try not to fight this guy too much. And Harold's more so probably thinking, let me just cling on to Nishka as much as I can and just gotta stay in his DRS, and he'll just tow me along at this point, and it'll help mitigate said catching up as quick, which is kind of working to their favor. But with said, he's clocking in. It's basically he's pretty much using those mediums to full advantage at this point, and clocking in to a point, qualifying laps probably as much as possible. But with these two up front managing the battery as much as they are and driving as well as they are, they don't seem to be making it easy for said to catch up. Oh, I am too. And I mean, he's got it down to just over 9 seconds of a gap at this point with about 9 laps left to go. So, I mean, if you figure if he's clocking about a second a lap quicker than the two ahead, which his last lap was in fact actually just over a second quicker than Harold and Nishka. So if he can actually keep that pace with the mediums and the mediums not fall off a cliff by the time he gets close, Set may actually find himself in position to be able to attack Harold and Nishka and maybe make a little bit of magic happen here at the end of the race. What's going on, Darth? How are you doing this evening, buddy? Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I kind of thought about that, and just looking at the tables right now, Harold only has one warning. So he's driving a he's driving an extremely clean race to say that he's dealing with the amount of dirty air that he has been as he's going for the move and goes off track, looking something similar to 2022 here. If Sed was behind, we'd probably be looking at a through goes Sed. But Harold does somehow make the move stick, and the game doesn't make him give the position back. So I guess it works. But now Nishka's pretty much going to be looking at this point. He's probably going to be wanting to hang on to Harold as much as he possibly can because Sed is only 6 seconds, just under 6 seconds now behind the both of them with the battling that's going on. So they've got to be a bit careful because with Sed on those fresher medium tires, he's going to be the quite the terror to deal with at in the closing laps of this race. Oh yeah, Darth, I'm definitely looking forward to the testing as well, but we'll see kind of how it happens. And as you can see, Harold on the Wellington straight. He's weaving a little bit to try and break that toe to kind of keep Nishka back there, to keep Nishka from getting that massive toe that he's going to need to make the overtake. But if has been playing it as smart, is playing it smart like he has been this entire race, he's looking to he's looking at setting up an over probably a last lap overtake here to the finish. Oh, most definitely. I mean, credit's given where credit's due, and I mean they definitely worked their way through this grid today and survived. A bit of I wouldn't even say chaos. Honestly, it's been pretty much clean driving, clean sailing amongst all, as we see Nishka and Harold round Cobb Corner, and Said now starting to appear in the background. So I mean, these two guys are probably going to be a little bit weary to that as they're looking to probably try and seal this deal, and Nishka especially trying to stay right there and keep the pressure on Harold to maybe try and force a mistake on him. As Nishka's now actually, I'm looking at it here. Nishka's got to be kind of on his p's and q's because he's got now five warnings for track limits, and could possibly see another 3 seconds added. But here's a little bit of a help to Nishka somehow, and we missed it. Said actually has incurred another 3 second time penalty at some point in the race. So he's actually it actually is gonna that actually kind of is a help to Nishka at this point. So he's gonna probably be breathing a sigh of relief, like, hey, I can actually stay right here. I've got this position. I just got to keep it clean, fight Harold, and just maintain the podium. Oh, if Yuki made Lando DNF in Abu Dhabi, that would have slightly been a little bit hilarious because McLaren's papaya rules would have pretty much blew up in their face. Oh, definitely. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, it's honestly, it's quite fascinating watching this championship unfold, especially in Div 2, because I mean, while Harold has kind of asserted himself as you know, as the Meraki Don, I guess you could say, of Div 2 at this point through now two races. He's still very vulnerable to other drivers, as we've seen, and he's racing it very smart. He's not being dirty. He's keeping it clean. He's doing everything he needs to do because in the long run, it's gonna earn him a spot in Div 1 for next season. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, they're still chugging. They're still chugging right along. So they clearly thought about it and probably practiced. These guys were probably practicing relentlessly through the week to get ready for this race. And I mean, they're honestly showing it. And I mean, says mediums have now hit 14 laps, which I will say the mediums after right around that area, maybe give or take a couple laps or two, a couple laps here and there. the mediums do start to kind of, they don't fall off a cliff, but they kind of hit a point where it's like, okay, I've given you as much push as I can give. Now it's more so you can push, but then you're gonna regret pushing on me. Just manage and deal with what I'm giving you. So I mean, Sed's kind of hit that point now where he's realized that the tires are pretty much neutralized between the hards and the mediums. And I mean, if you were to give this race another 10 laps, those mediums are gonna probably be dead, while the hards actually may possibly still be able to chug out another 10 laps. But we've only got two left in this race. I would have laughed hysterically because I know Zach Brown probably would have cried. Lando would have cried. It would have been quite an interesting thing. Oh, most definitely. And just hint. I mean, you've got a Div One driver here. I mean, I have no problem giving coaching and helping you get squared away. I like seeing everybody get better and grow and be able to compete. Not just oh, you're slow, so ha 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 ha. I'm gonna leave you there to suffer while I just ride off in the sunset. No, I rather help other drivers grow, get better, get faster. It creates a better environment, and somewhere along the way then they can pass on that knowledge to another driver coming through that is trying to do the same thing. But I mean, these guys, they're 30 laps deep. Tenzo 31 laps, Barry 32 laps on these hard tires, and they are to a point making it look almost effortless. I mean, I will say that in Div 1 I did take that set of hards after I had to get a front wing replacement. I took those set of hards probably almost as far as they did until that safety car came out mid race and I swapped off those hards and got some fresh rubber. But so, I mean, it's not completely impossible to go that long, but the consistency, the focus, just, relying and being confident that, hey, my setup is works. I just gotta focus, keep my head down and do what I gotta do. And that's what these two guys are doing out front today. They're pretty much showing us, hey, we came to party. And like Sebastian Vettel kind of said to Lewis after qualifying in Melbourne 2018, you know, you can go ahead and use party mode in qualifying, but it's going to be us that has the party on Sunday. So, and I mean, right now, Nishka and Harold are both having a party with it, have been having an absolute party and a blast with this race. Absolutely. I mean, honestly, a fantastic race. And I mean, Fantastic show of racecraft from everybody, honestly. I mean, up and down the grid, these guys drove hard. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are probably worn out, and I mean, they're probably feeling. I'm not gonna say they're feeling the effects of what an F1 driver, the real life F1 drivers are feeling, because these guys are probably getting out of their rigs right now. Some are probably struggling to get out of their rigs. They're probably tired, and they're probably going to look at a chow down, get some rest, maybe go soak in the bath. I'm pretty sure these guys are absolutely just ecstatic that they made it to the end at this point. I mean, yeah, Yuki did, but at the same time, I think Yuki was kind of like, you know what? Fuck that shit because of what Red Bull did to him, and I don't blame him. He said, fuck helping Max, you guys are taking me out of the seat, so why am I going to continue trying to help you? So, I mean, I don't necessarily blame Yuki on that part. Oh, agreed. Absolutely agreed. I think the whole world would have blown a gasket on that one. Yeah, honestly, I don't think Red Bull went for that because they're now going against Mercedes about the compression trick. So, I mean, it's going to be kind of interesting to see what they come up with. But what I'm thinking is they may, in fact, start testing it based on the test bench. Final thoughts. I mean, just looking. So, I think Tenzo actually reported his I guess his tires were at 92% at the end on those hards. So he was really riding it out there. He was riding the wave, and he was getting close to puncture territory, but he brought it home and brought it across the line. So I mean, it just kind of goes to show you like the skill level and you know how these guys manage their tires. The amount of time they put in, especially like Nishkatili, he practices for every race, and he you know he spots out how long he can carry every set, every different compound, and just where he can, how much he can push with as the tire deg starts to set in. So he keeps that consistency at a relatively high level, especially and through Div 2. So I mean, these guys in Div 2 are quite the shockers, and I mean, it's going to be quite interesting because you've got basically Div 2, which is like Formula 2 for NAEU. And as we see, we had Harold step in to the Aston Martin in Division One. He got, moved to call up. So I mean, a lot of these Division Two guys are looking to show, hey, if we need, if we absolutely have to, team principal can call on us to come into Div One and at least give a consistent reliability, bring the car home, not, wreck out, crash out, be aggressive, and just be a flat out egghead. So, I mean, you know, Div 2 is actually showing quite the impression right now that, a lot of these guys, they're looking to try and show why they should be able to race in Div 1 at some point in the future. So, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting, but it kind of makes me, want to just kind of go slap on a set of hards now and just go see how many laps I can get out of them around Silverstone. Granted, I got an idea how long I can make them last, but it's it kind of makes you wonder. I just kind of want to know. I kind of want to know the answer for my own self now. So that means I guess you could say they kind of inspired me on that one. But it's definitely been a long one. I mean, two full races, 104 laps around Silverstone in total for both you and myself, and a couple of the guys who were, in the background engineering for their teams. Like, it's been a long day. So, I mean, these guys are absolutely, I know they're absolutely torched, and they're probably going to get something to eat. I know I myself, I'm definitely going to go dig in and be a fat kid. But it's I'm it's now, everybody's got a nice little, they've got next week off, so we're not racing. And then coming back, then when they come back, we're gonna be looking at, where are we going next in 2 weeks. There we go. Oh, there we go. We got another classic circuit in 2 weeks at Canada. So that's going to be quite the interesting one. We're hopping and crossing the pond going to Montreal. So it's going to be quite interesting going from traditional circuit to something more of a street circuit. It's close, close tight corners, long straightaways, slow corners, and wall of champions right there, and track limits having to be exploited everywhere on that track to absolutely extrapolate every last bit of lap time. But to do that, you got to ride the barriers quite a bit throughout this track. So it's going to be quite interesting in a couple of weeks going to Canada. So I mean, all in all, I mean, it's been a fantastic day. Um, a Mercedes personnel. Oop, hang on, my bad. I thought I was muted. A Mercedes personnel actually went over to Red Bull and actually told of the trick. So that's how it kind of got leaked. But Red Bull, I think they were trying to do it, or they are trying to do it, and they just haven't figured it out completely yet, like Mercedes has. So it's going to be quite interesting. But from what I heard, they need 4 teams, which is a majority rule, I guess, to be able to make a change, and not necessarily a ruling change, but how they test the compression. And if they do make the compression test doable when after the engine's been hot and ran, then it's going to be quite interesting. Oh man. Oh, I had McDonald's. I got McDonald's sitting in the microwave that's been sitting there for about the last probably couple hours, or it's probably cold, and I don't care. I'm gonna nuke it in the microwave, and then I'm gonna dig in. I don't think it'd be that bad. Oh, yeah, man, no problem. Yeah, yeah. Hey, well, hey, Nishka, SJ, well done. Good, solid points. Good job bringing home solid points though. Hey, SJ, I saw you out. SJ, you was doing that. You was doing that BS again, like you did to me in Bahrain, managing the hell out that ERS to defend the hell out your position. I saw that shit. I was like, oh, he's doing that again. oh, SJ's doing that irritating shit again. He's got that ERS stacking up in the corners. I'm like, oh man, I feel sorry for that guy. I was like, I honestly felt for the guy being stuck behind you with you doing that, with you doing it. Because I mean, it's smart tactics. It works. And the funny thing is, it's like when I looked over at your telemetry and I saw you doing it, Nishka started doing it, and I'm like, ain't this some shit right now? These two are over here stacking ERS to defend, attack, and just be absolute annoyances right now. And Mishka, I know your heart jumped out your chest when Engai half spun in front of you. I know your heart jumped out your chest. Yeah, literally, you did it, but you did it while mid corner. I was like, how the fuck you dodge that? Tell me your secret. But I know your heart jumping out your chest and your butthole was puckered. You probably saw, oh, my race is done right here. Hey, uh oh, what hell do? Uh, oh, during the VSC. Ah, yeah. And see, that's why everybody's all, well, why you put AI down to 30? That's why. Because we have had people who have come in, especially during 100% races, they'll clear off into the distance and then they'll hit the pause menu and let the AI take over. That's not fair to the other drivers who are actually controlling their car from start to finish. So we make the AI 30. So you'll rethink about doing that when you see your car just fall way down the order in about 2.5 seconds. Ah, yeah, it did. I mean, the 6 seconds cost you, but at the same point, said having 6 seconds on him, it cost you, but it also helped you because it neutralized the two of you. Had you had that six and he had a three, oh, you were going down to third. You were dropping. And that's that's kind of what I was telling Gamehawk. I was like, there's no way. I was like, these two are probably looking. They're like, oh wait, Sed's got 6 seconds. Okay, we don't have to push that hard. We just got to play cautious and bring it home. And then when Harold went for the move on you, and I mean, honestly, that looked like something out of the 2022 Silverstone playbook. I was like, Jesus, if Sed was right behind y'all right now, I was keyed up and ready to just say, through goes Sed, through goes Sed, unbelievable stuff. I was ready to key it off. I was ready, but it didn't. It didn't happen. You both, you kept it on track. Harold went wide, went off, came back, and somehow y'all made it stick. I was like, all right, hard racing. I'm leaving it be. Yeah, I need to put some food in my gut. Yeah, see, your day is just getting started. It's almost 7:30 at night for me. Mm. Oh, trust me, mine kind of the VSC fucked the start of my race. Like I was in a good position starting. My setup was absolutely cracked, so I could have probably made a top 5 or a top 10 today in Div 1. Damn. Yeah, yeah, 8th. Yeah, you finished 8th. I mean, you didn't do bad, huh? What'd you say, Nishka? Um, I was questioning it a little bit, but then I realized I was like, wait, Sed started on softs. He went to hards. I was like, oh yeah, no. He's gonna have to stop again. I was like, okay, yeah, no, Sed's gonna have to stop again. He's pretty much committed to the two stop. Like if you start the race on softs, you're committing yourself to a two stop instantly. And in Div 1, I started on the medium to give myself the flexibility. Granted, I set the strategy for a two stop, but I gave myself the flexibility to switch and just drag the mediums out to almost halfway and then switch, go to hards, and just cruise on, just cruise the rest of the race. But things happened. Oh, dude, the one stop works. Oh, the one stop definitely works. I mean, honestly, the two stop works as well, but in my opinion, and last night I was dog shit tired, but said fuck it and still ran flat out against the AI. And the two stop will work, but I think the right two stop strategy would have to be medium soft medium. Don't start on the soft and don't end on the soft. Start on the mediums, end on the mediums, run the softs in the middle stint. And I mean, when I say run them in the middle stint, I'm talking just lock in for nothing but qualifying laps on the softs until they're flat dead, then jump back on the mediums again. Bang out a few quality laps on the mediums in the first like 5, 6 laps, then back off and just kind of maintain them from there. And you'll just rack it in. Oh yeah. Well, and I'm thinking about that. It's gonna. I mean, a lot more since after what happened with round one, a lot more, especially in Div 1, have shown up in the briefing room. But I think going forward, after what happened with the whole situation with Div 2, I think going forward, it's going to start being mandatory that all teams use team comms and everybody's present in the briefing room If you want to get an invite, you're going to be in the briefing room, and it's just going to come to that. If you're not in the briefing room, you don't get an invite. Well, well, I figure make team comms mandatory. That way, like how you and Nishka are in team comms. N guy was well, N guy was there, Bookie was there. It makes it quicker to communicate, especially if they're already on track running for as long as they did. And it took them forever and a day to stop, look at their phone because they out. Oh, something looks suspect. You know, this is very true. I'm not sure. Ah, okay, got you. Okay, okay. Well, yeah, yeah. Hey, lads. All right, so let's see. Honestly, I don't think Max is gonna win this year. Honestly, I really don't. Um, it's just I just don't see it happening. I mean, Red Bull's got too much of a new thing going on with the power unit, and they've got to deal with the reliability issues. They've got overheating issues from what I've heard, so they've got to get that sorted. But um, I'm starving and I'm tired because I done went through 104 laps at Silverstone, 52 of which I drove, and it was fun. But I'm tired and I need to chill for a little bit. Um, they did a decent amount of laps in Barcelona right up until I think something happened. I think Hadjar just kind of got caught out with the amount of torque that the car now has because of the increase in the battery. I think Hadjar got caught out and he pretty much put it in the wall in Barcelona. Like it came unglued off track and went straight across the grass into the wall, smashed the car up. So and I mean they were trying to get parts in to run Friday with Max all in the car all day Friday, but I guess that didn't materialize. But if you look at the Red Bull's airbox versus the Racing Bull's airbox, the Racing Bull's airbox is far larger than Red Bull, which kind of leads you to think that maybe there is some cooling problems with that power unit. So they're trying to maximize that, and maybe they're using Racing Bulls as the test dummy to see if this airbox works versus that size of an airbox. So, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, no, Max didn't. Yeah, Max did have problems with that with the torque of it, and I mean, it's gonna catch out a lot of drivers, honestly, because I mean, these cars are. This is what Formula One cars do, though. They accelerate ridiculously quick out of corners, but I don't think anybody was prepared for just how quick until Barcelona came around. So, well, see, and with Lewis's natural style of late braking, he's carrying a lot of speed on entry because of his late braking, and to the point that by the time he hits corner exit and he gets back on the throttle, it's not really upsetting and so much of a hard weight transfer from the front to the back. So Lewis is more experienced with that. So I mean, to a point, experience is kind of Ferrari's best asset right now, especially with Lewis there. So I mean, if Ferrari leans on Lewis and relies on his experience, they could actually do something now. And oh yeah, he definitely could. And Max made the comment that it didn't look like Lewis was driving the car; it looked like he was flying it when Lewis set that fastest lap on Friday. It looked like Lewis was just flying the car, like he was comfortable. It was reminiscent of the W11, and we know how Lewis was in the W11. He was just glued, hooked on a rail, and just send it effortless. Looked effortless. So I mean, honestly, I mean, we could possibly see Return of the King. I'm not, gonna, you know, go all in for it right away, but we possibly could see Ferrari emerge with something very nice this year. And given that reports have come out that Ferrari, Mercedes, I think uh, Red Bull, and I think maybe McLaren, they're all not too far off the weight limit already. And Ferrari having their upgrade plan already set, they're just waiting on the FIA to green light, so they can actually start, I guess, manufacturing the parts or making sure that they're legal and, usable or whatever. Ferrari may very well be ahead. And they've been kind of silent in the off season as well. They hadn't really made a lot of noise, unlike other teams. So they've been kind of under the radar. And as we know, teams that tend to go under the radar in the off season come out the next season and you end up being quite the shocker. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. But I think I'm gonna get off of here, and I mean, we can powwow and chat more in the Wolves Den, in Discord and whatnot, because I'm hungry and I need to kind of chill out and relax and, go spend time with the family. So I do appreciate you stopping by, Darth, and to everybody else out there in YouTube land as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and, check out the other social links. They're all listed in my Twitch, which is also linked on the YouTube. So you come over from YouTube to Twitch, and you can, get a link to there for my Discord and my other social media accounts. So till then, hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday, whether it be morning or evening or Sunday morning, wherever you are. It's been an absolute blast today. I had fun. Um, till next time, we out of here. Hang on, hang on.